Hi guys, this is Mahima from Curlvana, and I'm very excited for a really fruitful discussion that we'll have today, which is winter curl care. And we're super excited to see you right now. The session is going to begin in a few minutes, and for context, my name is Mahima, and I am a member of the Curlvana team. And today, the issue is very close to us because different climates require different curl care, and the awareness around it is very limited. And we as a brand strive to spread as much awareness as we can because at the end of the day, we are a community and we're here to learn and grow together. So that's why we're super excited to introduce you to someone who is an expert in the industry and who is often spoken about, winter curl care and how, you should condition and nourish your hair in this drier climate. And that's, that who that is. That's Khusboo Singhvi. I'm so sorry. And yeah, we're very excited to have you. And also, everyone, please remember that, because you have come and spent your time to join this live session, we have a special treat for you, a special 10% discount on all your purchases if you use the coupon code CURLLIFE10. So don't forget to get and claim that treat. We're going to wait for a few minutes so more followers can join and be a part of this discussion. Okay, so I think it's time that I call out our lovely influencer Khusboo Singhvi, and she'll be here to talk everything about you want to know because she's been in this industry for a while. So please shoot your questions, and also whatever questions you have, kindly shoot at us in the last 10 minutes of the session so we can wrap those up. And also, if you have something that you really want to know, please feel free to drop them below and we're here to answer all your queries. And with that, on that note, I'm going to introduce you guys to Khusboo, and I'm going to give her a quick call. So guys, she is here. That timing was perfect.
Hi. Hello everyone. Hi.
It was so nice, the screen was black, almost as if, you were having a dramatic entry, like the curtains went up and then we see your face.
So it's so good to be live here with you all. Hello everyone.
I think everyone is quite excited to see you talk about this. Because
I hope so. I'm actually
on that,
very happy because I haven't been able to do a live session for a very long time. Yesterday I came live, but just to cut my hair, like that was a 5-minute thing. But so yeah, I'm very happy to be live today and to talk to everyone and share things. So yeah, it's really nice.
we are super excited, Khusboo, to do this with you because, I mean, for myself, when I started my curly hair journey, which is not very long back, there were few people in the industry, and one of them was you. So it's kind of nice to
Oh, wow, I'm so happy to know that.
yeah,
That's amazing.
So Khusboo, before we touch upon on the topic, could you just give us a brief intro about your curly hair journey and how it was for you, and
Sure.
just share your story? Yeah.
Yes. I think many of you will know, but for those who don't know, I'll quickly tell. So, like most of us curlies, I've also grew up hating my hair. And then I straightened my hair for 18 years in a row, like regularly for 18 years. And like one fine day, I got done with straightening my hair and I got really bored of it basically. So I just Googled, what do people do who have naturally curly hair? Do they only straighten? And then, of course, I came across this whole curly girl method. I didn't even know it's such a big thing. At least, if not in India, at least in the West, it was. In many places in India, it was picking up. So yeah, then I started and I went from my hip length hair to like shoulder length. I just chopped off all my straight hair so that my natural curls could grow. And yeah, that's how it started. After that, it's been, you all know how it's been. So it's been quite nice, I think.
Wow, so that was like after like years and years of treatment, you could still grow back your curls with the right
Yeah.
care.
I think natural hair comes back. Whatever you do, they will come back. So that is nice.
That's really nice to hear because I know a lot of people who give up at certain points saying that I've already straightened my hair so I won't get my hair back. And this can be an inspiring story for people who are still straightening their hair to like embrace their curls. So, Khusboo, for today's topic, which is winter curl care,
Yeah.
we wanted to understand from your perspective, how firstly this whole routine for curly hair in this climate is different because I mean we all have certain methods that we use, like
Yeah.
shampooing a certain way, but just the nuances of it. How is it different? Secondly, like what do you recommend to everyone how they should care for their hair? And
Yeah.
thirdly, if you could, touch up on like some special styling routines that people could use because winter season is also like a party season. So how they can like rock their curls. Yeah.
Yeah, so let's start with this that obviously in winters, in most of India, like winter, especially in the upper belt north of India and like the top half of India, gets really, really cold. So obviously that it's very important to take extra care of your curls because when it's very cold, it's very dry as well. You know how our skin, we feel so dry. So similarly, our curls also get dry. And it's very important that we do give that extra focus. In fact, not only curly hair, I think all hair type need that extra care in winters because of the dry weather. And curls which are already dry in nature, they end up getting much more dry. So that is one thing that we definitely need to add extra moisture, which I'll talk about. But the good thing about winters is that you don't sweat. And when you don't sweat, it gets a little easier to maintain your curls because they're not getting frizzy that easily if you're following a right routine. But I also want to add here because I live in Goa and all the people who live in Goa or southern part of India, they don't really experience winters. And, by looking at other people, when they end up changing their routine, they experience that, their hair is going crazy because it's not, I'm still sitting with my AC on here in Goa. So I'm sure in North India, no one is doing that. So that is because here it's really not hot, not cold at all. It is kind of warm and on towards hot. So we people who are not living in a cold region, they do not really need to do a lot extra in winters. Yes, slightly I will tell you what you can do, but you don't have to do a major change in your curly hair routine. Maybe you can add an extra cream or little more leave-in than your usual routine, and that is it. It's easier for us to take care of our curls in this weather. Yeah, but coming back to the people who live in North where it's really very, very cold. So obviously for those people, these are the few tips that I will like to share. First is do deep conditioning as and when needed. So deep conditioning is not for everyone and not needed by everyone every week or something like that, but maybe once in 10 days, once in 15 days or once in 3 weeks, depending on your hair type. For example, my hair is colored or your hair is colored. So for colored hair or any chemically treated hair, you will definitely need to add deep conditioning more often. And you can get away by it maybe in summers, but in winters, you'll not be able to get away with it. So definitely, I would say take out that time whenever you have and do not skip on a good deep conditioning treatment, whether it's whatever your favorite, but do it. That is one very important thing. Second thing that I can highly recommend you should do in winters is layering up your stylers. So I'm a person who do not like to layer up my stylers. I love to use just one styler, like one leave-in or cream and then a gel. And I like to keep it simple. But when I'm in Jaipur, where's my hometown in winters, I cannot do that. I need, if I want good looking curls, which are shining and everything, I need to add two stylers. So I'll take a leave-in and I'll layer it up with a cream or I'll use a really heavy cream because my curls are very dry. So it needs, in winters, it definitely needs, because the moisture is lost from your curls much faster in winters. So yes, layering up your stylers is a great thing in winters. And then gel, depending on where you're living, you might or might not need a lot of gel in winters because you're not really going to sweat. It's not hot. So your curls, creams and leave-in will help in holding your curl because you're already layering that up. So use gel accordingly. If you need it, yes, go ahead and use it. But definitely stay away from drying gels because any gel that dry your hair in winters will dry it even more, much more. So for example, the Curlvana gel, it's a moisturizing gel. So gels like this are safe to use in winters, which are not going to dry out your curls because you don't want to apply anything in winters which can further dry it out. So obviously that is something. So these are like the basic tips you need to take care of in winters. Apart from that, you can definitely add heat to when you're oiling your hair or when you're deep conditioning your hair. You can definitely add a little heat because that will help in better absorption. And the climate is so cold that that little warmth is needed by your hair also to absorb that conditioner in a better way. And it will definitely help you in better results. At least I've personally experienced this. So yeah, you can at least once a month, if not more, you can try to add heat. Yeah, so for styling and washing, these will be my basic tips for winters. Another thing I can recommend when it comes to shampoo, you can use milder shampoos more, depending on your routine. For example, if you're working out or you're exposed to a lot of pollution, it's a different thing. But most people in winters are not sweating a lot. So your scalp is not getting that itchy or that dirty very fast. So in that case, you can, use more of mild shampoos and use a strong shampoo as and when needed. Do not overuse them because like in summers, I'm washing my hair every alternate day because in Goa, you don't have a choice. So I have to, use co-washes, but at least once a week, I go ahead and use a good heavy, strong cleanser. I don't do that in winters because I'm sweating much lesser. So yeah, that is another thing that I can add up to styling and washing and conditioning your hair in winters.
That was very, very elaborate. I think the key takeaway here is that if you're in a very cold place, just like layer it up. As how we do with our outfits, we like
Yeah,
put on a sweater or a coat. So, and
correct.
yeah. I wanted to ask you, Khusboo, you like spoke about oiling your hair more during winters. Could you like just let us know why that is more important?
Yeah. No, so I'm not saying that oiling your hair more. If oiling works for you, yes, definitely do it. Like personally in winters, I oil my hair much more often because my hair gets dried up, My hair feels that they are really dry, just the way how our skin gets dried up. And my hair loves oil. So if you do not have any scalp condition, in that case, you should definitely try oiling your hair in winters. You can use your favorite oil blend, whichever you like, but it should be pure oils, and they just kind of nourishes my hair, and my hair doesn't feel that extra dryness which it normally feels in winters. So I get much more regular with my oiling routine as soon as winter hits because I can feel my hair demanding it. So yeah, and I feel oiling is very easy for me because I've been used to it. It's very relaxing. So if I sometimes skip on my deep conditioning, at least if I'm oiling, I don't feel that extra dryness in my hair. So yeah, that is one reason. Also, while you were talking, I just thought of this. All those stylers which you think have not worked for you during summers or during the rest of the year, or you thought they were very heavy for you, or any conditioner or deep conditioner which you thought was very heavy, was weighing down your hair, was making your hair greasy. If you still have them, this is the time you can actually use them because they might end up working. It will surprise you. I've seen a lot of people for Cantu. So Cantu is a very heavy cream. It does not work for them in any other weather, but suddenly in winters it just starts working so beautifully. So yeah, that is definitely any styler that has not worked, use it now. Like make use of it. It might just work for you. You never know.
Okay, okay, that's very interesting. I mean, I can see that because like today it's been so I'm in Bangalore right now. It's been a little colder on the colder scale here. It's been raining a lot, and I did not use a gel, and I felt like I could achieve a little more volume than I usually can. So I see where your tip was coming for, like just to
Yeah.
like maybe use a lot of leave-in cream.
Yeah. also, like for Bangalore, it doesn't get very cold. So there, maybe if you use little gel, and also it will not create any problem. Gel will not create a problem anywhere though. But in Bangalore, you might not want to go as heavy as I would recommend the people in North who would like to go, because of the dry air in North. It's extremely dry. So when the winter, when the temperature reaches below 10 degrees, it starts to get really dry. And then that is when you really need that extra conditioning. In Bangalore, maybe if you just increase your leave-in by a little, or just add a little cream in between your leave-in and gel, it's going to help you. You will see a difference in your curl. They'll look more shiny, they'll be more lustrous. So yeah, that is what I feel. But depending on the weather, you'll have to judge it. I'm not exactly very sure about the Bangalore weather.
Okay, okay. But I think that's really interesting because I've also noticed that even in summers, during summers, and it gets really hot, like curls start acting up. I think they
Yeah.
just need a lot of attention, and you just have to do like
Yeah.
what works in that. Just keep
Yes.
experimenting with your
Yes.
formulations.
Yes, weather can make a huge difference on how your curls look. Like in summers, I need at least 2 layers of gel and a lot of gel. Okay, which I don't do in winters. I don't need 2 layers of gel. Like I've just used one gel. My hair is still partially in cast. So I don't need to use a lot of gel in this season. But in summers in Goa, because it's so humid, it's so sticky, it's so hot, I need to layer up 2 gels and a good quantity of gel, and I need very little leave-in. Wherein I do quite opposite in this weather. Even if there are no winters right now, I've just increased the quantity of my leave-in a little and definitely reduced the quantity of my gel by a lot, because humidity is less at this time. It's not as crazy as how summers are. Yeah, so according to the weather, you will definitely need to change your routine. It's very, very important.
Someone just asked us in the comments below, like, how they can lock in more moisture in their hair. It was like a while back, but I think
Okay.
that how they can lock in more moisture just
Okay.
with conditioning
So, yeah.
that
Okay. So
lasts
if
for
you're
like 3 to 4 days. Sorry. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
So they asked that how they can lock in more moisture so it can
Yes.
last up to 3 to 4 days for
Okay.
the hair.
Got it. Yeah. So if you are looking to lock in more moisture in your hair, the first thing you need to do is that style on dripping wet hair. I know in winters you don't feel like doing it, but when your hair is wet and then you're applying a product, so it's going to lock in that moisture into your hair. So that is definitely very important. You can try damp styling also. It might work for few people, but if it's not working and you're feeling your hair is dry, I would definitely recommend trying, wet styling. Even if it's not dripping wet, it should be at least wet so that your hair can lock in that moisture in. Another important and very easy thing that you can do is add in a little light oil in between. Suppose you're applying your leave-in or your cream, then add in a little oil. Suppose argan oil, grapeseed oil, any sealant oil. I'm not saying coconut or any heavy oil or olive oil, not in this step, but any oil that can seal in that moisture. Any of the sealant oils you can use, or any lightweight serum which is available in the market, you can use that. So this technique is basically called LOG or COG, that is leave-in oil or gel, or cream oil or gel. Or if it's crazy cold where you stay and the weather is too dry, you can even go as leave-in cream oil and gel. But that makes a huge difference. You'll see amazing results by adding only that oil, because that oil acts as a sealant and it seals all that moisture in, and then you can protect it with a gel. So yeah, you can definitely try that. It's going to help you a lot to seal in your moisture.
That's right. I have actually, that's really new for me because I've not heard of this method, which is, you add oil
Oh
before
yeah,
you add, yeah. That, I'm going to try that.
that you should. So also whoever is trying it, always apply oil only from like your mid length. Do not really apply it all over your hair, and you don't need to use a lot of oil because your hair will start looking oily then. So just a little oil. Like I can say for me, on half side of my hair, I use around 3 to 4 drops. I just, after I apply my leave-in, I just take it in my palms and I go over it basically from this length till down. I do not apply in this area. It's not really needed. So yeah, in this length, then you will not find it oily or anything like that. So yeah, and ensure that you're using a light oil, not like a very heavy oil.
Okay, and you need to like scrunch it or just like
Yeah, you
use a praying hand?
can use it in praying hands, whichever method you're comfortable with. Even praying hands would work, even scrunching would work, even raking would work, whatever you're more comfortable with. But I would suggest at least once go in praying hands so that that oil gets a chance to, touch all your hair. And after that, you can do scrunching or as you are comfortable, whichever styling technique you're comfortable with.
That's lovely. I think we all should try this. Add a
Yeah.
little bit of oil to our routine.
Yeah, definitely. It really, really helps. It works like magic for me. At least I use it a lot when I'm in Jaipur. And my curls last, especially if I'm going for a wedding. That is one thing I do that when I give a lot of time to my wash day, when I have to go for a function or a wedding, I know that the next 2, 3 days I want my hair to look good. So I'll have a nice, good wash day. I'll do my deep conditioning session if it's needed. And then while styling, I will really concentrate a lot and I'll ensure that I'm using a cream and then I'm using a oil and then I'm topping it up with gel so that I have good, three, at least for the next 3 days, I have good looking curls and I don't have to worry about my hair.
So when you talk about these 3 to 4 days like good looking curls, especially like because winter season has a lot of weddings and parties to go to, and people if also do have a long nice wash day and they style their hair, how can they like help retain that definition and that look that you have
Yeah,
on your first wash day?
right. So, see, one thing definitely is not possible that your day-free curls will look like your wash day curls. That's not going to happen, and
Yeah.
we have to accept it because there's no way out. Okay, so that is not happening. Wash day curls will never look like your day 3 curls, but you can definitely make them look pretty nice till day 3 and day 4. Like if you follow simple things, like of course, as I said, give it time on your wash day, style them very nicely. Like while applying your stylers, give it time. Do not just apply them very quickly, and haphazardly. Like at least give it 1 to 2 minutes for your hair to absorb that leave-in, then the oil, and then the gel. So that's very, very important. So style your hair nicely. First tip. And after that, the second tip will be do not touch your hair while your hair is wet. Let them dry. If you have to go for a party, if you have to go for anything, use a diffuser and dry your curls before you move out. Because if you move out in wet curls, you'll end up messing up your hair in the sense that the results are not going to be as good and they're not going to last you longer. So I do understand that, when we have wedding and parties, we don't have always have the time. So possible manage that time because today one day this time investment will gonna help you for the next 3 to 4 days.
Yeah.
So use diffuser and dry your curls. That is also very important. Thirdly, I will say even if you are going for a wedding, even if it's somewhere out, destination, wherever, please sleep on satin. Carry your bonnet, it's very easy, very lightweight, or a satin pillowcase or anything, a satin scarf, whatever you're comfortable with, whichever form of satin or silk, whatever you're using, ensure that you're sleeping on that in the night. Again, that will help you, last, making your curls last longer. Another thing you can do is on day 2, because day 1 you washed your hair, they will look nice and everything. On day 2, maybe you can just take a little water in your palms and glaze it over your hair because your products will get reactivated. It will add that little shine to your hair and it just takes 1 minute to do it and 5 minutes maximum to dry. So it's not something which is time consuming and your day 2 hair will be good too. And still, if you think that your day 3 hair needs a little touch up, maybe take a slight leave-in with water. Again, just rub it in your palms and go over it. And then slight gel as well. All these things, they take 2 minutes to do. The hair dries up super fast and your curls look nice. So this I'm saying only if you're out for a wedding or something
Yeah.
like that, you really want your curls to look nice. But if you do not have functions continuously, even if you are having a good wash day, your curls will look nice till day 3 if you are sleeping on satin and giving time to your stylers. So yeah,
Yeah. Stylers need a lot of attention.
they definitely need, and especially actually in all seasons, they do need a lot of
Yeah.
attention.
Yeah. Yeah. So I want to ask you, Khusboo, how do you feel about Curlvana stylers? Like, do you like them?
Yes, I really like the Curlvana styler, especially the gel. I love the fact, the about the gel is that when you apply. So today also I've used Curlvana. I thought because I'm going live with Curlvana, I should use
That's
Curlvana.
so nice.
I love the fact, see if you will, I don't know how much you can see here. My hair is still in cast and it gives a very good cast if used properly. So I love that about it because, you can So tomorrow I have to go for a party, and that's the reason I didn't break the entire cast. My hair is dry, but I didn't want to break it so that it can, retain till tomorrow. This is one thing I love about it. And the other thing I love is, on your day 2 or day 3, when you just take some water and glaze it over, the gel just gets reactivated. You can instantly feel that gel on your hair, and then it will leave that slight cast also. So it's very easy to refresh your hair with that, even without using it, even what you've used on wash day. So yeah, and even the leave-in, it gives a very good definition, and I like it. It's like a mix of a leave-in and a cream. It's somewhere in between a leave-in and a cream, and it gives a pretty good definition. So I love that about the leave-in cream.
Thank you, Khusboo. That's so nice to hear from you because your definition, your curl definition is something which is, I think, quite the stunner. I mean, I always though you have like proper ringlets and you can see there's a lot of like effort and love that every ringlet has because
Thank
I
you.
know that if you style them properly, they come out fantastic. So Khusboo, I want to ask you, do you use a Denman brush or you finger coil? Like what's
No, no,
your
no.
method of
I don't finger coil my hair. I've never actually finger coiled my hair. So I always wanted to try it once at least to see how it will look on me. But it looks so time consuming that I have never ended up trying it. And I don't use a brush as well. So Denman brush, I don't use it at all because I had it earlier. I even bought it. But then I did not like the way it does not help with detangling at all. And for me, my main problem is the detangling. Main problem meaning the main place where I use brushes or comb is detangling. While styling, I personally don't feel the need to do it because these are my natural curls. So they do curl up like this, and I like my natural curl pattern. So I've never felt that need of specifically using a styling brush. However, I've tried all the possible brushes in the market to see the results, but I did not find a very major difference. So I didn't want to add it as an unnecessary step in my routine. So I'm happy with just using my hands. I do use a comb or a brush to just ensure that my product is distributed, entirely and nicely on my hair. So yeah, that I do, but I do not really use it for styling.
Okay, okay. So that's, I mean, basically you have to just style your hair in terms of your curl pattern so that they come out
Yeah.
well.
So
Like,
I've seen that for some people using a brush or something really enhance the curl pattern. So you can, if you're thinking that your natural curls are not curling up, and especially in the start of your journey, when you're still in a transition phase or when your curls have just come up, it's they are still not you're not following the routine as you don't know it, right? When you're still learning, when you're in the start of your journey, and even for some people, even otherwise, that using a comb or using a brush really enhances the curl pattern. So yeah, if you feel or if you're not happy with your existing current pattern, you can definitely try it out. That is why even I did. I just wanted to see how will it change. But honestly, I did not feel a major change with any of the brushes. Yes, sometimes you can see that brushes give you better clumps. They are more defined clumps because when you brush it through your clump, it helps in forming better clumps.
hmm,
So that definitely is a thing. So if you're somebody whose hair doesn't clump up naturally, you can definitely try out using a brush.
okay, got it. Kushbu, I think like you have covered everything to the T and like, like given us a very nice and very easy to follow instructions on how to care for our curls, like during winters. I think one of the best parts about any kind of tip it has to be easy to follow. Otherwise, people get overwhelmed, especially with curly hair, right? It's just that
Yeah.
there's so much information. Like sometimes you just, and I think it was really nice to hear that the tips are quite simple and easy to follow, which I think people should definitely use. And now, guys, shoot your questions because whatever questions you have, Khushbu is here to answer them. So please, guys, please just ask us anything.
Yeah.
I think
So
someone had also asked us about how they're a beginner and they should care about like take care of their curls if they have medium porosity hair as
okay.
a beginner. Yeah.
Okay. So, first of all, if you are a beginner, my first thing will be that do not think of your hair porosity because there is no way that you can find what is your hair porosity sitting at home unless you've gone to a lab, get your hair tested, and then you know your porosity. It is okay. It's a different thing, but still, I feel it does not make a huge difference in your routine. So definitely do not think about your hair porosity, because even one head of hair can have different hair porosities. Okay, your hair might be low porosity here and high in the end, or it can be different. So please do not think about hair porosity at all. I never thought about it. I don't even want to know what it is, because it will not make a huge difference in your routine. This is my personal experience, and personal experience with a lot of people. It just confuses you even furthermore. So initially, when you just start your curly hair routine, it's already very overwhelming because you have so much of information. And by adding all of these things, it gets more complicated. So in my opinion, just do not think about it. Just start a simple routine of shampooing, conditioning or deep conditioning, using any leave-in of your choice, or using your existing conditioner as leave-in, and adding a gel. Just start your routine simple. Do not worry. You can try raking, because I think she's asked if she can do raking in the same question. So you see, we wash our hair every 3, 4, 5 days, correct? So maybe one wash day try raking, one wash day trying some other technique. See what is working best for you, because only trying the technique will help you understand what's working for you. It's not something we do it once in a month, right? We do it so often. So just try it and see which technique is working better for you. And I think that's really going to help you.
We have another question, which is about how can a beginner do finger detangling?
Okay. So for finger detangling, it's very simple. Whether you're a beginner or not, take smaller sections. Like, divide your hair into sections like this. Take your fingers and start detangling from down first. Like if there are any big knots, just separate them. Any, big clump of, knot you can see, just, try to separate them gently. Start like that. And once you are done removing the bigger portion, just see if, anything else on top, and you have to start removing that. Once you have done that, then you can use a wide tooth comb. This is what I follow, because I feel this is the easiest way to, detangle your hair. So yeah, that is what I follow. Also, if, especially in winters or in any time, if you feel that your hair is too dry to detangle them with your fingers, and if you're doing a dry detangling, you're not doing it while you're conditioning step, in that case, you can also rub a little oil in your palms, and there should be oil in your hair too. I do not otherwise recommend dry detangling, so you should always have oil in your hair if you are dry detangling, and take slight oil in your palms as well, so that it will add a little slip while you're finger detangling. And if you're doing it with conditioning, then there's no problem. It will anyway happen. So yeah.
Okay. So we're gonna take the last two questions, which is one of them is, while refreshing, should we apply both leave-in cream and gel, or just gel would be sufficient? This is one question.
Yes,
That we
sorry.
just, yeah.
Come again. I could not hear that.
While refreshing, should they just
Okay.
add leave-in cream, or should they add like leave-in cream and gel, or
Oh,
should they just add gel? Like,
okay. So see, what I'll recommend is, for example, when I'm refreshing my hair in summers in Goa, I just go ahead and use a moisturizing gel. I do not add extra leave-in or cream, because it's so hot and my hair doesn't need that much of moisture. So what I do is I just take a moisturizing gel, because I do not want to use a drying gel for refreshing. So just take that little gel and I dilute it with water and I glaze it over my hair. But in winters, what I recommend is that you should definitely add a little bit of leave-in or just a cream. Then because a lot of people don't need to use a gel, but you have to see according to your weather, your hair type, that it should not be very heavy. I do not recommend refreshing with any heavy product. So if you are using a cream, it should not be a heavy cream, because you already have products in your hair and we are adding it up, right? So a leave-in normally for me works better for refreshes. So I would recommend that try with a leave-in if you are in a dry weather. If you are in a humid weather, especially in summers, try with a gel. And in winters, you can definitely use a little leave-in and a little gel both. Yeah, this is what I'll recommend. And actually,
okay.
even in North Indian summers, like, in Jaipur and all, the weather is very dry. It's not humid. So even there, you can try refreshing with little leave-in, following it up with little gel. That works.
Okay. I think you've covered like the whole map of India. I think everyone now knows what to do, like where, if in a tropical weather, cold weather,
I think,
and that's
sorry, Mahima, I don't mean to cut you, but I'll just take one more question from
yeah.
Divas, something that she asked it twice, I think. So she's saying, any oil that you can suggest, especially for winters, to help curb hair fall a bit. since winters make hair dry, and as you said, this increases hair fall. So one thing I would like to say, that no oil can really stop your hair fall. So don't think that using a oil will stop your hair fall. However, using a oil can help you in providing moisture, but that even your conditioners and deep conditioners will do. So it's not that which is the best oil. Use any oil you have at home, any pure oil or any oil blend. I have a lot of recommendations on my page. You can check any good oil blend you can get. But do not expect it to stop your hair fall. Your hair fall is going to happen when you leave your hair dry and they're getting too tangled. So do your conditioning, deep conditioning properly. Use your enough leave-ins and creams and oil when necessary. So yeah, this is what I just wanted to say.
No, that's a good question, and it's good that you answered that.
Yeah, that's why I thought I'll just take it,
Thank
because a lot of people feel that they can use particular oils and then they will not have hair fall. So yeah, that's why.
So, Khusboo, I think today's session has been quite, like, in my opinion, it has been quite enlightening because I
Yeah,
also didn't
definitely.
realize that how, like, just a little addition, a little tweaking in your methods can help you achieve different styles, not just for winters, but also other seasons that you also touched upon, which is really nice. And we really thank you for that. And of course, it's been really awesome talking to you. And we as a brand just want to learn and grow with the community, and just, by having conversations with experts like you, just helps us, achieve that mission. So that's great.
But I'd also like to add up here that what you all are doing is amazing, because I've seen your other sessions as well with Deepika and Madhushree, and all the sessions are very educative, very helpful for all people who are watching it. So it's really nice as a brand what you all are doing, to help out all the curlies out there. I think it's amazing. So yeah, thank you for taking out time and conducting these sessions and helping people with all different kind of curl queries they might have.
That's our pleasure, and we're so happy we can do this with you guys, because you guys have done some fantastic stuff. You have these fantastic trophies up your alley, and just doing it with you is the fun. So thank you, Khusboo.
Thank you, my it was such a nice session. Thank you
It was
so
a
much.
fun session. So nice talking to you and everyone. People who are going to watch this later. We missed you, but you can always have this on your feed. And for those who watched, again, you have a exclusive discount code. So please go ahead and use it. And kudos to you, Khusboo, for this
Thank you,
session.
Mahima. Have a great
You
weekend
too.
ahead. Thank you
Have
so
a
much.
great weekend. Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye bye.
Bye.